right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home. You are alone in this. You always were.
Minute of Violence. Available on March 18th.
You are staying right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home. You are alone in this. You always...
Hello everybody. It's so nice to be here, even if we're not together in the same room. But I have a very special guest with me tonight and a very special game. So, welcome to a little live stream of Minute of Islands. My name is Rebecca. I work for Mixtvision, the publisher of this lovely game. And with me is Anjin. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Anjin. I'm officially the game director of Minute of Islands. And I'm super honored to represent our amazing artists and game designers and coders who made the game possible, and looking forward to talking to you, every one of you, today.
Awesome. So, to start off, if you had to summarize Minute of Island in one sentence,
you are staying right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home. You are alone in this. You always were.
Minute of Violence. Available on March 18th.
And looking at our little loading main menu screen that we have here,
you're staying right here.
Something wrong with the world. It's not
on these forsaken rocks you call a home.
But you have a little cute crab.
You are alone in this.
Among the little island
you
here.
Always were.
So it's not completely desolate.
Minute of Violence. Available on March 18th.
There will be a short intro, so we'll just enjoy the lovely art. Let's go.
You are staying right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home. You are alone in this. Four brothers. Safan. Bagan. Under. You are staying right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home. You are... and a girl named Mo. Mo has learned to sleep under the hissing tubes and the ever-humming chambers. The pumping cylinders give her comfort, the drumming of a job well done. Nothing startles her more than silence. There is no rest for the apprentice.
Okay, so you should be where the first tutorial box is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm kind of like trying to get a grip of where to watch to be kind of like in sync with you playing it. So I think it's more it's not the stream, it's our meeting screen sharing thing. Yes.
It's really interesting to work in this current situation, right? Two people sitting in completely different cities and streaming a game together. So thank you everyone for your patience with us. But we're very happy to be here.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, we all are as far away from each other equally, but that means we're also equally close to each other. So
right.
There's no no special behind the scenes stuff or anything. Cool. Is it possible to get like an audio feed from you playing, or should I just concentrate on the images?
I think I can give you the audio. The audio is in the stream, but that's lagging a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool.
Okay. So here we are.
So maybe like the first thing that's very new to the recent trailer we released, and to our first live demo, which is super exciting, is that we have a voice-acted narrator. That's a woman called Megan, and she's with us for quite some time now, for almost 2 years. So that was a well-kept secret during our production. And we are, I think it's super cool for people to hear her now and to experience like all layers of the game, at least for the first half to 1 hour of the game, which is the approximately duration of the demo. Yes, depending on how quickly you manage to find your way around and to overcome the obstacles and how deeply you explore.
Okay, then let's start exploring a little bit. I climbed up a ladder here and we can look at different objects. Down here is not a good place to keep a pet. Might be true.
Obviously.
I don't know what you mean. This is the perfect environment for gaming. No sunlight hitting your monitor, and you will always have a perfect, clear image. Photographs are above our bed, and I was too slow to read. Many are of Mo's sister Miri.
Yeah.
So we already know we have a family, and we have keepsakes from the surface. Ooh.
It's quite an intriguing situation. I have the desire to explain everything, but I'm mostly going to keep my mouth shut, because the exploration and the journey and the mystery of the next 10 feet during the demo are like a big part of what we work really hard to make stick with people. So don't expect me to narrate everything, but if you have questions, shoot us your questions in the chat. Yeah.
I picked up a shiny toy. The Omni Switch. This is actually... I still remember the day that you added this animation. This is... I don't know why, but this is so satisfying to just pull the Omni Switch out.
We literally talked about big props to our animators and also to our sound designers who are doing like the sound in that thing, and the weird leather holster sound. Like it feels like you're not putting it in a pocket, but more to a holster because we said, okay, this is gun wielding. This is basically a cowboy drawing his gun and then putting it back in while heavily flipping it around.
Yeah, it just feels so good to whip out the Omni Switch. It has that coolness of cowboys. Yeah. Let's go to the surface, I guess. Yeah, that door doesn't look menacing at all. Or the flash-like tunnel looks perfectly inviting, right?
Hey, this is where she lives, okay?
Oh, that's right. Can't be that.
Be nice.
I'm very sorry, Mo. I didn't want to judge you for your home. It's lovely. I love the color, the bloody walls. That's amazing. The blood color.
No orifice environment shaming, please.
I'm already learning a bit about the platforming in the game. I can jump down. I can climb up.
There's a very crucial thing that unfortunately isn't showing up in the demo, which is just a bug. There should be a text display telling you how to run in this area, and it's just not popping up right now. So if you hold the X button, you can run faster, and then the jump from one platform to the other is like really simple.
Oops. Really simple, you say?
Yeah. I had to say it out loud. I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, now there, really simple. First try, as always.
A few people actually managed to do this in the demo without running, which is that's just an inch of movement.
More has done so
an
much
inch of
around
space.
Repaired,
where you can
watched,
still jump and it kind of works.
in this
And
deathly
they
silence,
never learn to run.
She is
so
once more
yeah, that's a
taunted
bit.
by the one thing that
that's
she
a bit
will
of a
never
thing.
be able to do.
Ooh, I hear something.
Their
hear
engineering can
snoring.
be studied and replicated, but their strength they selfishly keep. Despite all the wiring and the manufactured tubes, the engines are powered by physical force. But the kind that no mere human could ever muster.
So we have somebody sharing our home. I see. Quick excursus to the chat. Thank you so much, Skamit. Said that the demo is great and they can't wait to buy the game. We hope you like it. Yeah, thank you. It's really awesome to finally have the game in the hands of players.
I think Gamit, I hope we're pronouncing it right. I think I saw your tweets yesterday about the demo, and we tried to Google translate it, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like very cool to read these kinds of first reactions. Thank you very much.
We have a question from Skamit as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was always the
narrator
weakest
interrupted
of the
us.
four. He is struggling to breathe. Even Mo can taste the stale air in her mouth. It seems the ventilation system isn't working properly, but nothing does without the engine.
Okay, yeah, I see the question. It's if the game will have like controller remapping, or if
Exactly.
if they will be bound. Now, unfortunately, we don't have controller remapping. I'm actually quite not sure if the keyboard controls can be remapped at this moment. I have to look that up. But we can at least alternatively offer keyboard controls if the button mapping of the controller isn't working for you. But there's not much very like Twitch sensitive sections in the game. So even if the controller mapping is a bit awkward for you, you should kind of like be fine. But maybe that's an accessibility issue or something, which we could have dealt with, but we found that our controller mapping is actually quite alright, I think.
Yeah, I think it's really nice that there's platforming, but it's still possible to succeed even if you're not pixel perfect in your jumps. As you said, some people manage to do the running jump without running, which is quite amazing. But once the game tells you all about its controls, I think it's quite possible to finish the game without pro player skills. Ooh, we
Without
have
power, the observatory
another
is not
mysterious
much use.
object. No power. Well. Oh. There we go. So now we use the Omni Switch to restore power, I guess.
Yes.
Showing off the full power of our awesome whirly Omni Switch.
It hits
This is,
mine
of
like a
course,
punch to
quite the
chest.
elaborate process,
It is all four of them.
just to connect
They
a bit
all
of
broke
power,
at the
but
same
these
time.
machines have not been
Failed at the
made
same
for
time.
humans, which I think
Something
is
grave
quite
must have
evident
occurred.
in the way they are
But what?
looking and designed, and how our protagonist Mo interacts with the machines.
The giants are empowering the engines. We already saw that our little housemate is sleeping down there. Very lazy.
Our housemate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a way of seeing it again. Ooh, not spoiling anything. Ooh. I have to be careful.
So, as a game director, what exactly is it that you do on Minute of Islands?
Oh boy.
Oh, perfect timing. I just triggered another cutscene. Sorry.
No problem. We let them talk.
Without the veil, the air is too toxic to breathe. And just as Moore feared, the vents have all shut. The poison is kept out, but so is the oxygen. Safan is slowly suffocating, and the other three may have it worse.
So, the way I see being a game director is that we have like a substantial amount of people working on that project. We have like artists and animators and musicians, and sound designers and coders and game designers, and there's also a lot of people doing behind the scenes work, like Mixtvision, like our publisher, for example, or our producers. And especially when on the creative side, all people have like their own perspective on what they think the game needs and what they like enjoy producing and how they relate to the game and what they want to bring in and put into the game. And the job of a game director is to kind of help everybody to work on the same thing, so that when we have all these people who are giving like their input and their ideas into a game, somebody needs to kind of like take all these ideas and make them connect to each other and make them all and build synergies between them, which is how I would describe the job of a game director to be. yeah, that's basically it. Sounds like super abstract. In practical terms, this means reviewing stuff, planning content, making people to talk to each other, selecting ideas, merging them, stuff like this. So it's not that abstract in the daily practice, but to like a certain degree, nothing in the game was made by me in a certain sense. So of course, but everything in the game kind of like has my input on it. So something like this. I think it's still abstract. I don't know. I hope this helped.
Yeah, when you have a lot of people working together, there's gotta be somebody keeping track of everything and organizing everything. We have another question from the chat. How long will the full game be?
Scummy, this has already given like a very solid guess. It's going to be roughly 4 to 5 hours. If it depends a bit on your playstyle, right? The game has a lot of nooks and crannies to explore and tiny hidden areas. We have a lot of collectibles. We have a lot of environment objects to investigate. And if you're kind of like trying to get through the game as quickly as you can to, I don't know, complete it, you may be done in something like 3+ hours. But if you dive into the game and play the game for what it is and take the time to soak everything in, it's easily 5 hours. Also depending on how quick you solve certain puzzles, of course.
Yeah, walking through like the beginning area here, it almost feels like a hidden object image. There's so many small details here that you can look at. I guess that can easily stretch playtime.
Yeah, well, the whole game is like this. There's of course a big variety of locations, so don't expect all the islands to look this romantic and this, I don't know, like nautic. There's a lot of different things for you in later stages. I think the trailer gave a lot of hints about that. But the information density is usually that high, and the tiny details that our artists were able to squeeze into the backgrounds and into the environments is I think quite something to behold. We're very proud of this because that was a lot of work, and we hope that a player like can really lose themselves in all the stuff that is there. For example, you should go to the far right in this shot.
I've already investigated this little thing.
Cool.
Is that a hammerhead shark? Am I guessing right? The skull?
Something like this. The animals in Minute of Islands are always, let's say it's an alternate evolution type of thing going on.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of spores here in the air, the yellow spores, so I guess this world might be a bit different from ours. The little seagulls are also not looking super well.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of time in these yellow spores. Thanks, Skamit, and also thank you, Frisky Donuts, for the kind words. And also 10+ hours if you make screenshots all the time is probably also a very good estimate.
The smell made it clear. It died a long time ago, and now the spores are taking hold of whatever remains. A better fate than the fungus eating you alive.
I guess we have a screenshot-worthy scene right here. Lovely. Oh.
Well,
No,
that's just nature taking
yeah.
its course.
I scared some birds away from their food. I feel bad now.
Yeah, most of them aren't that easily startled. But maybe if you now see what they're eating, you like understand why they are in their
Maybe.
certain, current condition.
Poor whale. So let's see. My trusty Omni Switch is pointing me to the left.
Yes, the Omni Switch has like multiple functions. It also points to the next objective, which doesn't mean it points to the next thing you need to go. It kind of like points to the next thing you need to reach. So there's always still the challenge of finding your way to that point. It's really like a compass, trying to guide you to the next important machine.
Yeah, the road might not always be straight. You might not always be able to reach it straight away. The sound design is quite amazing because I'm playing with headphones and sometimes I get startled by like small background sounds. Like just now it just sounded like snoring or maybe a stomach grumbling. I think. So
yeah, we are really happy with Christian Thomas, the audio designers, and which are working together. They're partners, and one of them is mostly sound, and the other one is mostly there for music. And we are really happy how they kind of like committed themselves to making a super deep and interesting and also very interactive. That's a big point of it. A very interactive soundscape. So we were so happy. So we started in the actual game. There's going to be I'm not sure if you have it here, a screen reminding you to put headphones on because we think the sound is headphones worthy.
Yeah, in the beginning, because I started the game before, it didn't. No, it did show the screen when we loaded in. That is better with headphones, and I definitely agree. It feels very creepy and very close and really immersive.
Yeah.
Yes, Skamit summarized it good. Creepy and pretty.
yeah. Skamit found, for example, one of the interactive parts. The audio designers working together with our game designers mapped like a squishy, squelching sound to the whale when you walk on the fleshy parts of it.
Well, we have to check that out. Can't leave the island without stepping on this poor dead whale.
Yes.
Oh no.
But thankfully, you are wearing rubber boots, so this should work out for you.
Luckily, it sounds good, I guess. The sound is very well made. Okay, then I think we're ready to leave this island. Frisky Donuts just said, feels like you need a hazmat suit. Walking around on dead, decomposed whales, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Most of the remaining island dwellers are actually wearing hazmat suits. There's a reason why Mo doesn't, but yeah, it's actually standard fashion in these regions.
More shudders. She knows the damage the spores are capable of. The fungus first poisoning the mind, then ever so slowly consuming the body. How it will spoil the verdant soil, and obscure the midday sun. Despite all of its dangers, more frequently inhales the poison. An occupational hazard, she calls it. A sacrifice others weren't willing to make. A few violent coughs, a few eerie apparitions, won't keep her from doing her job. After all, she is the bearer of the Omni Switch.
Yeah, this was one of the many sequences, and later sequences are also playable, in which Mo has to struggle with the hallucinogen effects of the mushroom spores. So yeah, they're exactly that kind of mushroom, flying through the air.
Ever. Once a bustling place. Before the Great Exodus. Now just a pile of broken things and abandoned ideas. The island hosts the purifiers, guarding Safon's domain.
Hey Kaya, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Alright, we reached the neighboring island.
I wonder what awaits us here. Oh no, the tentacles also... The boat tentacles also do that scratching sound I just heard. Oh no.
Yes.
It will stay with us. The squelching.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember how the doors sound underground when they open. Yeah, there's a very different understanding to how machines should sound and look when the giants make them.
I'm very happy that the giants did not make my coffee machine, because I probably would cut down on caffeine quite a bit. Okay, let's remember here. Come here.
The children used to all come here together. Miri, Moore, their friends, for the seaberry jam, the scarecrows and the rides. And then the Exodus happened.
Oh, I see some seaberry jam, I think, down here in the water.
Yes. What you just did was you picked up one of our memories, and there's something we found quite interesting when writing the game, is that for players, all the locations we are visiting are of course new and fresh, but for Mo, she is basically revisiting the surface again, and so these memories are tiny things that come to mind when she visits places she stayed. She spent a lot of time when she was smaller and less occupied, shall we say. and they are kind of like revealing the connection Mo has with the places we visit and with the people who live there. And we hope they, even though they're optional content, I mean they're collectibles, of course, we hope that players try to find all of them to get the complete picture.
Oh, we have another memory here, so Mo probably spent a lot of time here in the past.
Yeah, the firsts are really hard to miss. We wanted to make sure that players kind of like get into contact with the first of those collectibles.
Don't make me feel bad for finding them.
But they are increasingly harder to find. If you play and you think there's an object or a place that feels like it might have some significance or interest, walk up to it and see what happens.
We have people in the chat, Skamit and Frisky Donuts, asking for some digital goodies, maybe an art book or a soundtrack, and I can assure you we have something coming. Digital art book and soundtrack will be available, and you can look forward to it.
Yes, the especially the soundtrack and the digital art book. I have not yet heard the actual soundtrack myself because the arrangements are needed to be specially made for the soundtrack. And if you listen to the music in the game, it's like separated into different layers, which are all like mapped to environment objects and connected to things happening in the game, and it's very fragmented, which you're not hearing. It's more like arranging a band or an orchestra. And Thomas, our musician, then kind of like prepared, custom made the soundtrack arrangements for a very cool listening experience, and I'm looking forward to it. And the art book is also quite special because it contains mostly very early development art, and there's a lot of stuff in the art book you're not seeing in the game.
Her uncle's estate. He should be inside, with the windows shut and doors locked.
Yeah, the art book will bring...
Oh. Either the fungus got to him, or he is somewhere out there, fiddling with the purifiers himself.
I feel so sorry every time I talk over the narrator. But luckily the demo is available on Steam right now, so everyone who is annoyed by us me talking over her, please check out the demo yourself. It's definitely worth it.
I also think that I hope that people are not watching the developer stream just to watch the game. There's a lot of really cool streamers already out there streaming it from a player's perspective, so I think it's totally cool if we kind of like dive into certain aspects. Yeah, as you can see, it was obviously not a good idea to leave the door open to this house. All the outside spores and particles are already inside, and now Mo is worried that her uncle, who is the sole inhabitant of this island, may already have suffered some sort of negative consequences.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good. He left the pot, the kettle, on the stove, so might not have...
Oh, you found a secret area!
Yeah! Finally, something that I actually found, and that was not given to me by the game. Well, good thing he's not dead in his bed. That's really lovely. So there's still hope. And we have Marius joining us in the chat on YouTube.
Hey, Marius.
So let's see whether we can find Mo's uncle.
Since Marius is there with his full name, so I hope you're not trying to be incognito about it, Marius. Are you?
Well, what did we stumble upon here? Looks completely normal. What's happening here? Let's see what I remember about this, or what Mo remembers.
Mo remembers every one of these masks. The people who once wore them. The lingering memories of people. In one way or another. Now gone.
Marius said no, they are here.
Cool. No, I asked because Marius is actually a team member, and he is responsible for a lot of the core ideas of the game and the core motifs, together with our writers and artists, and I was very proud to build on top of the amazing images and themes Marius established early in the production.
I actually just got a blast from the past because my grandfather has a grill just like that. It's in a bit better condition, but
Yeah, slightly, probably, yeah.
Slightly, only slightly. But yeah, it's awesome to have Marius joining us in the chat. Two very special guests for a very special game.
Mo never understood
With
the
varying
appeal of bones
degrees of
to
bodily
decorate
presence.
a tourist attraction. It's authentic, her uncle would say, but he'd always dodge the question of whether the bones were from a whale or another large creature.
A roller coaster made out of old bones that may or may not be from a whale or a different big creature.
I think it's safe to say that no matter what, this is probably not up to regulation standards.
Maybe not. Yeah, especially like this little hole we have right here in the tracks. Here in Germany we have the TÜV. They would not like that. A regulation agency taking care that everything is built up to standard.
So,
did I just...
I saw the chat of Alexandra.
Yes.
Rebecca, you now have to explain to me what Saarland vibes are.
Yeah.
Why did you get a shout out, a Saarland vibes?
The Saarland is an area in Germany, and I think this kind of grill might actually be kind of like traditional there. And Alexandra and I share heritage there. Like our long lost ancestors.
The ancient,
Well, yeah,
the ancient Saarland
the
way
ancients,
of
yes.
dangling grills.
Yeah, I think the way you use this grill is it's hung up on these stakes, right? And you kind of just like have it swing back and forth across the fire and just kind of grill the meat that way. Not 100% sure why you would do that, because it does seem a bit less efficient than just having the meat above the grill, but who am I to question ancient traditions? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Alexandra said it's called Schwenkgrill in German.
Yeah.
Swinging grill, I guess. So, on the other side of the house we found no trace of Mo's uncle, just a safety violation.
Well, there's a lot of traces.
Yeah.
Still
Let's
somehow
say.
does.
That's right.
One ride was 2 coins, back when money still meant something.
Oh, it still smells of candy floss, popcorn, and frying fat.
Oh.
I can almost smell that.
The sweet childhood memories of frying fat.
The machine looks intact. It is resting, waiting for a spark.
Since we released the demo yesterday and the trailer, we are actually quite overwhelmed with the responses, and we are super happy for everyone who voices their interest and how they like the game, and also things they're still curious about when it comes to the game on social media. I was lurking all night long and watched Twitch streams and YouTube videos and refreshed any social media channel we had. Because this is like a super special moment for us. There was a bit of radio silence about the game for a few months since we were in the last stretches of development, and we are like really happy to now with confidence be able to say that the game will come out on March 18th, and which is not even like 2 months. It's almost around the corner. So everybody in our team is super stoked, and also kind of nervous. We worked on the game for over 2 years, so you sometimes have to like put a lot of effort in trusting your original ideas and then just following them through, and you kind of don't know how people will react when they actually see and play it, because you're looking at it day in and day out for 2 years. It's like a joke, like crafting a joke. It starts losing its punch for you, but you have to trust that new audience will still feel it. So it's super cool to see people play it, and to watch them discover all the tiny things and solve the puzzles and things like that. So I'm very, very, very thankful for everyone who's sharing their experience online. This is really great for us.
Yeah, it must be very hard to keep quiet about something for so long, and then to just share it with the whole world straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also super curious and weirdly, almost morbidly excited about what the conversation about the game will be when it's out. Not to be like super pretentious about it or like super ominous. There is things. The game, the story of the game has quite a few developments, and I'm interested